Hey, welcome to the Build Your Team podcast. And today we're going to be talking about efficiency in your business, but specifically efficiency when it comes to hiring. I hear this all the time from business owners that, I need to hire and I need to hire like 4 or 5 people, and I'm just going to go hire 4 or 5 people right now and put them to work, and that's going to make life wonderful. Well, is it really? Or is that a really bad idea? Well, I'm your host, Atiba, and today that's going to be our topic. We're talking about efficiency in hiring, and specifically efficiency in hiring virtual assistants. Now, this seems to come up a lot with people in the virtual assistant market, especially when you're hiring overseas and you may have a virtual assistant that costs you less than someone locally may cost you per hour. And you're thinking, oh man, I can hire 2, 3, 4 people for the same price I would pay for one person domestically. Yeah, that might well be true, but is there real efficiency there? And that's the key, and that's the thing that we need to look at. So here's how I'm going to break this down for you. Number one, if this is your first hire of any kind, virtual or in person, if this is your first hire of any kind, hire one and one only at a time. Hire one, get them onboarded, get them comfortable. You get comfortable with them. You get them working well before you add someone else in. Why? Because management takes more out of you than you would realize. Listen, let me be honest with you and tell you, if there are 5 days in the week, I spend at least 2 of them doing nothing but management. Yep, I don't even get to do any work anymore, okay? I spend at least 2 days a week doing nothing but management. And that takes a little bit of a shift in mentality, that takes a little bit of shift in attitude, and that definitely takes a shift in thought for you. Okay. And so before you go adding on a whole bunch of people to manage, learn to manage one. Learn to manage one. Now, if you're used to hiring people and you've hired a bunch of people and you've managed people successfully, then yes, maybe you can hire more than one at the same time, bring them both in and onboard them, especially if you're hiring VAs that are going to be working together. Then it makes perfect sense. If you know how to manage teams, you've done it, you have your processes in place, okay? And you have your onboarding in place and your training in place, then yes, if you're hiring for a team, bring in multiple people, train them all at the same time. That's very, very efficient. Very efficient. Now, at the same time, if you're hiring for multiple roles, so let's say you're hiring someone to help you with your accounting, and you're hiring someone to do video editing, let's say it's 2 completely opposite roles, bringing both of them in at the same time is going to increase the amount of work that you need to do to onboard them. And the amount of work that it's going to take you, amount of time rather, that is going to take you away from the work that you've already been doing. So you have to consider that as well, okay? Because you're going to lose some efficiencies in bringing in 2 people with 2 very different skill sets at the same time, okay? Now, that being said, I do it all the time, and here's how and why we do it. We do it because when I'm bringing someone in, especially into a role that's already existing, I already had someone in that role doing the job usually. And we have stated processes and SOPs written for how they are going to do their job. And when I hire someone new in to do that role as well, I take someone who's currently doing the role and have them pull up the SOPs and train the new person. That way, my role is just to oversee and make sure it's getting done and that nothing's being missed. But I'm not the one actually doing all of the work. Okay? I'm not the one. And so that works really well if you have a team that's large enough to do that. And a team large enough to do that simply means that the person that you're hiring, the role that you're hiring them for, you currently have someone else doing this role, and you've already written all of the SOPs and the processes needed to do this role, that this person who's currently doing the role can teach the new person. If you've got that in multiple areas, then yes, you can hire multiple people at the same time with varying skill sets, because it's not going to be a huge drain on you to onboard them. You're just going to oversee everybody else's work. Okay. Which honestly is your job, which honestly is where you should want to be, which honestly, as a business owner, that's what you want to grow to that place where things are happening and your entire job is just to oversee, to make sure that it is happening correctly, but not that your hands are deep in it. That's where you want to grow to. Okay. So can you do it? Should you do it? Yes, you can. Should you do it? We've outlined a couple different reasons why you should and a couple different reasons why you shouldn't onboard multiple people at the same time. Okay. And if you feel like you can't handle it because you've got the processes, you've got the people in place, you've got the training system, then go for it. I'd love to hear how it's going for you. I'd love to hear how your team is growing. Feel free to leave me a comment down below. Let's talk back and forth. I'm here to share with you my experiences. I've been building teams for the last 20 plus years, and I've had a ton of success and even more failure. Okay, to be completely honest, and I've learned a ton from all of my failures that have caused me to grow into being able to build the successful teams for organizations that I've been able to do. All right, everybody, that's it for right now. If you've got any questions, you've got any comments, again, drop me a line down below. Love to hear from you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.